So you want to play games with your significant other or your friend or just somebody that doesn't really understand or play video games. Well, that puts you in kind of a precarious situation, doesn't it? I mean, you just want to play games with them. Of course you do, because it's something that you love, you're very interested in, it's a passion of yours, and you just want to introduce them to your passion. Well, let's see how we can get them to start playing games with you and having some more fun with what you want to do. So how do we bridge this gap between two people, one who's really interested in playing video games and one that's not interested in playing video games? Well, let me caveat by saying this. This is not a fix-it-all video. This isn't going to magically make somebody fall in love with video games. So what we're going to do is we're going to use video games as a tool to help build a bridge between you and them, building something together instead of putting up a barrier between two people, to change perspective on video games. So what are we trying to do? Let's set out some goals and groundwork. The first thing we're trying to do is spend some more time with our significant other or somebody that we care about. The second thing we're trying to do is have better communication skills between two people or even more than that. And the third thing we're trying to do is build a common goal or build a common interest. Once again, we're going to do this through using video games as a tool, vice a barrier. So how can video games be a barrier? Well, video games can be a barrier through putting on your headphones and saying, you know what, just don't talk to me. I'm playing games right now. This is just me time. And yes, you do probably need just me time. But if it's all your time is just me time, it's not going to help. Another barrier that video games can present is, hey, I'm just going to play for a few minutes. And 3.5 hours later, we're still in the middle of the same level and we haven't progressed anywhere. And it just feels like we're wasting our significant other's time. And to them, that is extremely disrespectful that you would rather do this video game thing where you're not including them, and you're not paying attention to them, you're not doing anything that seems to be developing anywhere instead of hanging out with them, because they just don't understand why we enjoy video games. For those of us that do have significant others or people that are playing video games with us, we can still set up barriers. And one of them is, you need to be better or else I am not playing with you. Yeah, I've heard that before. That's putting a skill gap in there, and that's making hesitation to play the video games. We can't put that type of hesitation. We can't put that type of barrier up. The other thing is saying, no, I don't want to play that game. That's a dumb game. Are you kidding me? Like, they say they want to play video games with you and you're saying no to it? Absolutely not. You got to find their interest and build it in the video game realm. And then you can start introducing new and different types of games. So what are some of the ways that we can actually bridge this gap? The first one is, hey, do you want to play games together? We'll do a little bit more in depth on how do you play games with them together if they don't play games in just a few minutes. But once you start getting them into video games, you start asking why and how they think about this and what do you think that, oh, wasn't this so cool? Isn't that crazy that you can do this? Or isn't that storyline so fantastic? Doesn't it kind of match a book that you've read? Always remember to compliment them too. If they're playing the game, don't forget to compliment them. Hey, you had a great game. How'd you actually get this done? Because I tried doing it this way and it seemed kind of complicated. Do you have an easier way, or how do you actually figure it out? So some of the ways to prevent these barriers from coming up is don't lord your video game knowledge over them. Don't be like, oh, I know everything about video games. Just play the game with them, or be silent and let them play. And if they ask for help, you can help them. Before, during, and after playing video games, don't be pushy. Don't be super affirmative with it. Just be like, hey, you want to play video games? Oh, no, not right now. Cool. What we're trying to avoid is negative feelings being associated with video games. If you're too pushy, too assertive, there's the potential for them to throw up that barrier and being like, you know what, this is too much for me. I just don't want to deal with it. You're just putting too much pressure on me. One more barrier for video games is don't let them be such a huge time suck and time commitment. We really have to be careful with how much time we spend with each of our hobbies. I mean, you have to think about how many different hobbies and how many different activities y'all are trying to do, how many you're trying to do together, how many you're trying to do apart, how much time that gives you, and how this sets up your communication. So you got to look at everything in a holistic approach, not just the video game. And with that, you can't dismiss your significant other's hobbies and interests in there. So how do we open this dialogue? This is the hardest part, because we always just want to be straight to the jump and like, hey, let's play Halo. Hey, let's play Dragon's Dogma. Let's play this. Let's play that. Nope. Let's take a step back. We got to set the scene. We got to lay the groundwork. We need to relax. We need to be calm. We need to make sure that this comes through as like a, hey, I'm here for you. Let's figure out what you like to do and see if we can match it with something I like to do. We're trying to get more out of what they want, their hobbies and their interests, than what we want. We are already interested in video games. We don't need to be convinced to play video games. We need to figure out what they enjoy. So do they enjoy fantasy novels? Maybe they want to play Pillars of Eternity. Do they enjoy TV shows? Maybe they'll enjoy The Witcher. I mean, the Netflix series just came out and it was really good. Maybe they'll enjoy the crossover playing The Witcher. We need to figure out what makes them happy, and then we can enjoy the video games with them. That's where we're going. We need to enjoy the video games with them. So how do we get away from some of the stigmas around video games? Because these always come up in the conversation. Oh, video games are just for lazy people. Video games aren't any fun. You just sit there and you rot your brain, yada, yada. Oh my goodness. So this one drives me nuts, because when it comes down to like all these misconnotations about video games, I'm downloading papers from academia all the time and I'm reading them, and it's like, oh, well, we're having to disprove this theory that never really had any substantial research. Somebody just published a book and said video games will rot your brain, or video games make people violent. I mean, there's even researchers today saying, hey, playing video games is helping graduate students become better for the workplace. Video games are making people better at grade-to-grade recognition, fast twitch reactions, decision making. It's way too much. I need to do a whole nother video on how video games actually have health benefits. But that being said, everything in moderation, right? If you drink too much water, you can die. If you drink too much alcohol, you can die. If you play too many video games, you can get really fat. If you exercise too much, you can break bones. Like, let's be real about this. We need to put things in moderation, and it can help with opening the dialogue. So let's build a bridge. Let's be positive. Let's be chill. Personally, I like to recommend multiplayer games and local co-ops. My wife actually started playing with Dada back in Warcraft 3, and it was phenomenal because we were in college and we had a whole bunch of roommates, and we get 5 people into a team and we could help her learn the game, whether it was online or if it was a bot match or whatever. We could help her learn, and she was super comfortable with that. And that's one of the things that we have to do. We have to make sure that people are comfortable playing the games, because the biggest barrier to playing games is we don't like to be uncomfortable. People don't like to be uncomfortable by showing that they're not good at something. Little things like small compliments can really help them out. Just straight up small compliments like, hey, you picked that up really fast. Hey, I didn't expect for that to work, but that's an awesome solution to this puzzle in Portal 2. Hey, you did really, really well today during this game. I really like how you did your movement here. And then maybe if you're going to coach, you can coach later, but like, let the games always end on a positive note. It'll help, I promise. When you are playing these multiplayer games or these co-op games or something like that, let them learn the game and then let them start taking the lead. I wouldn't say always let them take the lead. I'd say split it. Make it be like 50-50. But if you let them take the lead, they have more ownership of it. They're going to enjoy the game more. If they always feel like they're second fiddle, there's no ownership. They're just like, oh, I'm just doing this to make them happy. Screw it. But if they're actually doing well and they're taking the lead and they're happy about it, they're going to want to play the game more. And that's what we're looking for, is them wanting to play the game to spend time in our hobbies. Now, we always want to continue building these relationships, right? Like, I've been with my wife for 16 years. We've been married for nearly 10. It'll be 10 this year. And it is always about continuing to build the relationship. So we actually started playing Gears of War 4 last night, and I thought it was great. And then at the end of the thing, she said, you know what? I really didn't like that. Whenever we play Gears of War, we always used to play on the couch. It was split screen multiplayer. And last night I wanted to try something new and different. I wanted to try playing with me on the computer and her on the Xbox. It worked. It was great. It was awesome. Except for the fact that I wasn't sitting next to her. So this was supposed to be a shared experience, a shared action, and be able to talk to her about it. She wanted to sit right next to me. Well, she told me about that. So tonight when we play, we're going to sit next to each other. That's just communication and being able to say this is a shared experience and shared action. So with that comes, if you do these shared actions, we do these shared experiences, continue to communicate about it so that you can build more emotional impact and more emotional conveyance to the situation. It'll really help, I promise you. So like, you did something really cool together in Gears of War, it'd be like, hey, that was awesome. That scene was so epic. You did so well right here, and you really saved my bacon. Like, it was awesome. Or if you're playing The Witcher, talk about the storyline. Or if you're playing Knights of the Old Republic, talk about, did you choose the light side? Did you choose the dark side? Why'd you choose the light side? Why'd you choose the dark side? Why is the biggest question, because it gets them talking about what they're doing, and then you just keep asking them why once or twice. Always remember that it's a give and take, right? We only have so much time during the day, so if you go through and you introduce video games into their daily routine, we have to be able to take something else out. And we need to talk about this, because this can be one of the biggest problems about video games. They already have what they want to do. They want to read, they want to watch TV, they want to do something. So throughout the day and throughout the week, you have to establish where this time block is going to come from so that they don't feel like they're losing something that they have an interest in. And yes, compromise is key. So they might have to lose a little bit of time in something they want, but you might also have to lose a little bit of video game time to do something that they want to do. And that's what this is all about. It's about shared experiences and shared communication so that you can have a better relationship. And that's how video games can be used as a tool to better build communication and better build relationships. That's all this is. I would be remiss if I didn't give you some suggestions for multiplayer games. So just off the top of my head, we've got Portal 2, we've got Gears of War series, we've got the Halo series, we've got Mario Kart, we've got Minecraft. Hey, thank you for stopping by. We really enjoyed talking to you today about how to build better relationships through communication using video games as a tool to do so, because let's build better relationships. And then if you have any comments, suggestions, anything, go ahead, please drop them down below in the comment sections. I really appreciate it. It really helps build a better community. And that's what we're really here to do, is build that better community. So like, share, subscribe, whatever, just build a better community, and we'll see you next time.
You're talking to me.
So we only have so much time during the day. Sorry, little man's right here.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Oh, what else do we have, buddy?
Mr. Froggy. Baby.
Little stuff that the dudes can play right here. Oh, what else? We have.
A fire truck.
Yeah, we have fire trucks.
We have so many things. I can't say all the things.
I can't say all the things either.
Goodbye.
Say it again louder.